welcome to another Nighthawk Racing track guide. This one is around the short layout of Fuji in the Mclaren 650S Group 3. So we're approaching turn 1. A bit of an interesting corner, this one, because it can gain you or lose you a lot of lap time. And you ideally want to be braking either just after the 150 meter word or the beginning of that stand on the left. So you're going to be trail braking. Basically, once you see the pit lane exit line, you're going to be turning in, and you want to aggressively attack this curve on the inside. You're going to be in first gear, then quickly upshift to second gear as you hit the apex, and power through on the exit, on the power as soon as possible. Then you're going to get to turn 2. This one is quite a difficult corner to get right. Right brake just before the 50 meter board, if you see that little orange box to my left, and as soon as you get to the 50 meter board, you want to start turning in. You're going to apply roughly just over 50% on the brakes, and you want to aim towards this curve, but don't hit the wall hard, otherwise you'll get a penalty. And by this point you're going to be like third gear roughly at the exit, and you're going to point towards these curves. Don't run too wide, like on the green bits, as it's easy to get a penalty. And you want to be in fourth gear at the exits in those cars. And then turn 3, which is one of those that is make or break, especially in the races, as getting this corner right is crucial for you to reduce the tire wear as much as possible. So in here it's going to be a balance between braking and accelerating, and yeah, you're gonna have to do a lot of balance with the brakes and applying power, and even some downshifts might be required. So possibly in a few cars you might have to go to third gear, but you want to start as close to the white line on the left as possible. If you get to this point, you kind of want to be in the middle of the track, and then start closing in again on the right. And if you see that orange mark on the barrier to my right, that's your point for when you want to start accelerating the car again. You'll see this a bit better when I do the hot lap. Then you want to aim towards the right on the exit. You want to brake just a little bit before this curve starts, and before that orange box you see there. Yeah, you're gonna take a curve here on the entry. Gonna place your right hand side wheels on top of the curb, and you're basically going to aim for the apex, and you're gonna go on first gear. And then I'd recommend you either upshifting to second immediately before going on the power. Some cars might even require to go into third gear just for more stability and for you to be able to go on the throttle a bit quicker. Then you're gonna aim for this curve on the outside. Turn 5 is completely flat, and you want to stay kind of to the left to minimize the distance. And then here, turn 6, you'd normally find the chicane here, but in this version the braking point is just slightly later. Maybe when you see the patch of, well, when you see this Dunlop sign above me, just in between that and the patch of tarmac to the right. Yeah, you want to be braking, and then just before you hit, you get close to that white line there on the left, you want to start turning in. Be careful not to apply the power too soon, because you can run wide and it's easy for you to lose lap time or to get a track limit penalty. And also if you cut the apex too much, that's another way you can get a penalty here. And you want to carry as much speed as possible. I'd recommend you to be patient on the throttle, and as soon as you hit the apex, that's when you start applying the throttle down. Then you want to place your car on the left to open up your line going into turn 8. So just before you kind of get to this part here, the transition between the grass and the green bit that's to the left of the curve, that's roughly when you want to start braking. You're gonna be possibly first gear just to get a little bit more rotation, and then you want to short shift to second, some cars to third, to get a better exit, and you want to touch this curve on the inside, and then aim for this curve right here. Be careful, as it can be unsettling, especially with the AstroTurf right to the left of it. It's super unsettling. Just a note as well, for the same thing as turn 1, you have that same type of AstroTurf, and if you hit it, it's very likely that you're gonna end up spinning. Then, you're gonna use the end of this curve on the left as your reference point to kind of like start braking. Then once again you're gonna have to juggle a lot between using the brakes and applying some power as well. This part can be very understeery. It's crucial that you get this right, but it's really difficult to be consistent here. And you kind of want to be not fully to the right, but maybe kind of middle of the track, but maybe a little bit more towards the right. You're gonna be braking, you're gonna be in first gear by this point, and might have to do some nibbles on the throttle. And you're gonna aim for this curve here, get as close to this bollard as possible without touching it. And as soon as your car is kind of in this position, you want to quickly short shift either to second or third in some cars, so that you can go full power. And once again, aim for this curve on the outside. You can place the car fully on top of this part of the curve, but beware that it can be unsettling in some cars. Then we get to the last corner. There are different interpretations to this line, but I like to open up a little bit more on the entry to maybe help carry a little bit more speed towards the main straight, which is quite long, a very crucial point to get right. I don't necessarily have a good reference point, but I guess as soon as you see that bit of the orange barrier creeping in on your image, maybe you want to start braking, but not too harshly. Well, not too hard on the brakes. Playing in gently and slowly decrease it. And yeah, you're probably going to be in first gear once again, and then you can either go on second or third gear just for a little bit extra stability on the exits. Want to kind of aim for this little bit of curve here on the right at the exits, and you're gonna point the car out to this curve on the exits here. And yeah, just accelerate until the finish line. Yeah, it's one of the crucial points in order for you to be able to carry as much speed as possible, especially this last sector. If you can nail it down, it's really good, because it means that you'll gain some lap time, and it's one of those places where you can either gain or lose a lot of time, and the more consistent you are, the better, obviously. Yeah, so this is the end of the track, guys.